Live from the Golden Rule in Georgetown, Texas, this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show with head coach Chuck Griffin. The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard. And now, here's your host, the voice of your Georgetown Eagles, Wally Harmon.
Hasn't seemed to miss as much of a beat. Noah Boris stepped in, just played phenomenal. Fantastic. Let's say fantastic.
Let's use that word.
Instead. And he's been putting up video game numbers.
Yeah.
Especially against that Hendrickson defense. I think 300-plus yards, perfect passer rating, numbers off the charts. And, yeah, the offense has been very effective, very efficient throughout most every game. Liberty Hill struggled a bit in the first half. But other than that, the offense has been smooth sailing.
So with the offense performing so well, you can't talk about the offense and the numbers that they're putting out without talking about the offensive line and the just the phenomenal job they did. They kept Noah very clean this last week. Noah had, I think, a perfect QBR for this game. So only 3 incompletions on the night.
And 4 touchdowns.
Just throwing dimes. So it's been fun watching Noah. And then, of course, Andrew Petter doing what Petter's going to Petter.
Yeah.
And he does that very well. One of the leading rushers in Central Texas, already over 1,000 yards on the season, and just a great running back.
Yeah. I mean, I think, coming into that Hendrickson game, he was averaging about 170, 180 yards a game. Obviously, the Liberty Hill kind of tanked the numbers a bit.
Yeah.
But before that, well over 200. And the offense really runs through Petter. I mean, even even like without him putting up the numbers, he's such a threat that the defense has to respect it, which just therefore opens up the pass for Noah Boris.
Well, and you see the teams trying to stack the line and stop him. A&M Consolidated slowed him down on the running game, but that left him open on the passing game, and he put 150 or so yards up total that night against them as well. So very effective. And then our receivers out there on the edges just running great routes, putting video game numbers on the board. Drayden Dickman out there, Marquise Dominguez, doing just phenomenal jobs of running this offense. The defensive side of the ball, we saw some against A&M Consolidated, a few tackling issues, but then last week the tackling issues got cleaned up and the defense really played dominant. And if a tackle got missed, there were a lot of silver helmets around the ball, and that's what you want to see on defense. The aggression is going to cause you to miss some tackles here and there every once in a while, but there was help there.
Yes.
And the defense has been really successful with A&M after the A&M. Well, they were pretty successful in the A&M Consolidated game. Not a horrible game for the defense, but improved against Hendrickson.
Absolutely. I mean, again, watching that game live and just looking at the box score doesn't really tell how dominant of a game that was for the defense. Again, every scoring drive Hendrickson had that game was extended by penalties. If you take those out, then the defense could have pitched a shutout in that game.
Well, and we saw against Hendrickson, we saw aggressive defense. We saw guys flying to the ball, and, you know, you're going to have some penalties when you're playing really aggressive. You move on past those, and honestly, Hendrickson's, a lot of their yardage and their some of their points came near the end of the game, some trash time. But we were able to rotate, and you'll see the interview with Coach Griffin in the pregame show Friday night. But Coach Griffin talked about it. We'll talk about it with Coach Beatty in just a couple of minutes. Players got some valuable playing time just in case to be the next man up. We've seen the next man have to stand up at the quarterback position. These guys are getting ready. They're getting quality snaps in times in the game where they can run the offense that they want to run the defense that they want to run, and not just getting rid of it. Andrew played the first series of the second half, and then pulled him out. I joked with Coach Griffin, if they'd left him in, he'd have run for 300. So
he was on pace.
Yeah. So we've got guys that are getting some quality time, some quality plays, and you always like seeing that. So that's a great thing, and we're excited about this week. Leander coming to town. We'll be back home at the GISD Athletic Complex. 6:15 pregame on SHN Sports on YouTube, and then 7 o'clock kickoff. So please join us. Come out to the stadium, folks. If you can come out to the stadium, wear blue, come be loud, support these kids. But if you can't make it to the stadium, then check us out on SHN Sports on YouTube for live video broadcast of the upcoming game this weekend when Leander Lions come to Georgetown to take on your Eagles. Holden, appreciate you hanging out with us for a little bit.
It's my pleasure.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break here, and we will be right back with Coach Beatty. Stick with us here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show on SHN Sports.
The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.
And we welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show here on SHN Sports on YouTube. With me now is offensive coordinator, Coach Ricky Beatty. Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you probably got voluntold you had to be here.
A little bit voluntold, yeah.
Yeah, Coach Griffin said, hey, you get to go sit in my place. But we appreciate you. It's nice to get a little bit different view of it, of how things are going. So talk about the season in general up to this point, what you've seen from your offense, the strides they've made, and then we'll talk specifically about last week's game against Hendrickson. But talk about the season to this point.
Well, there's been some normal ebbs and flows of the season, just like kind of like you have every year. Started off pretty strong, offensively and defensively, and hit Liberty Hill and consolidated in kind of a little skid there. But, we've executed well on offense all year, I feel like. Especially once quarterback went down. You're kind of fortunate when you have a guy that can step up and play like he does. But overall, I think week to week we're getting better every week that we get a week of practice in and play a new opponent. And so I'm encouraged by how the season's gone just because we've gotten better every week, and hitting our stride in district is key.
No, last year after the season we lost quite a bit of experience, so there were some question marks coming into the season just because of the lack of experience. Talk about the development of some of the guys. Has anybody pleasantly surprised you, or did you expect what you've gotten?
Well, I'm not really necessarily surprised with the production we get out of Petter and Dominguez and Dickman and those kids, because they kind of proved themselves last year, and we kind of knew what they were getting into for us this year. In our offensive line, that we only had one returner, but they're all playing as good as guys that have been playing for years. So,
right.
I've been really, really pleased with our offensive line. Their execution and their physicality up front. But offensive as a whole, have been executing really well.
I guess one of the hardest things to teach is blocking and the schemes to block. But these guys have really done a great job, even after Tucker went down, of keeping Noah clean. And this last Friday against Hendrickson, Noah had just ridiculous numbers. Talk about Noah and what he's done since he's been able to come in and take over for Tucker.
Well, our offensive line does give him an extra sense of security because they're, executing so well.
Right.
They have a good grasp on how to deal with things on the fly in the game, so he has that kind of as a blanket with them. But, he did a great job even before the Liberty Hill game of preparing himself to play if it was his time, and he's done a lot of extra preparation now that he's the guy, and that's the reason you're seeing good results on a Friday night is because of his preparation he's putting in during the week, and he's having good practices. He's getting his timing right, making sure he knows what's going on, and he's just really calm, cool, and collected back there.
Right.
He doesn't have a lot of experience back there. Obviously, he's coming in as a junior first time, but he looks poised, back there. He's really calm.
He really does. I guess the first couple of series against Consolidated, he looked maybe a little bit hesitant. Probably a couple of throws that he wanted to get back, but ever since then, has that allowed you to call plays like you would if Tucker was in there?
It gives you a little bit more confidence to kind of stay in the rhythm that you've always had all year. But at the same time, you kind of got to change things a little bit up just because you don't want him running the ball. You don't want him, putting in situations where he can get hit hard,
right.
that type of deal. But, yeah, it gives me all the confidence in the world whenever I can see he's preparing
right.
like he is.
Well, I've gotten to watch your offense now for several years. You've been here 5?
This is my 7th year.
7th year here. And I was kind of excited because in the game the other night, we were down about the 26-yard line, had a second and short. And I said, I've been watching Coach Beatty's offenses for a little while. I wouldn't be surprised if he took a shot down the field, threw it down, had the touchdown down in the corner of the end zone.
Yes,
so
sir.
How fun is it calling plays when you've got the offensive weapons that you've got?
Oh, I love it, mainly because the defenses, they struggle so much to figure out what they're going to try to stop. When you have two receivers on the outside like that, that's so hard to stop. And then a running back that can make you hurt. So, yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun knowing that you can take shots when you want to and stuff like that.
So as the OC, you ever stand on the sideline, make a call, see the defense line up, and just start chuckling? Because you know you're going to beat it.
There's many times where I'll call a play and the guys in the box are telling me, "Oh my gosh, it's a touchdown!" So
Yeah.
yes, that is something that happens.
Well, the offense is really clicking, and I know you don't do a lot with the defense, but the defense stepped up last week against Hendrickson.
They did.
And played really well. Talk about what Hendrickson threw at you. Did y'all get what you were expecting from them? And what kind of alterations did you have to make to the game plan to overcome what Hendrickson was doing?
They didn't do anything, for anything that we didn't see on film. They kind of threw out whatever they had been throwing at other teams, and so it wasn't like we were surprised by anything.
Right.
So we just went in. It took our normal game plan the whole 4 quarters, and it really got after them with what we had planned throughout the week.
So looking at the statistics from last week's game, total offense 586 yards, 301 yards passing, 285 yards rushing. That's just ridiculous.
That's a lot of yards.
With 12-minute quarters.
Yeah.
That's some offensive players being really tired at the end of the day because they're running so much. So this week, Leander's coming to town, the Lions, and we didn't play Leander for several years, but a decade ago, Leander and Georgetown was a pretty good rivalry, and we played each other a lot. What are you expecting to see whenever Leander comes in Friday night?
Leander's a solid football team. They're well coached, and so they don't run themselves out of gaps they shouldn't be in. And on offense, they're pretty efficient about what they do. So we're gonna have to play pretty sound, just like we preach every week. To be able to win a big district game. But at the end of the day, we have to make them have kind of forced the issue with they have to cover our guys and they have to deal with our playmakers, and our defense is going to be more physical than they are on offense. So that's kind of our MO that we're going to take throughout every game.
When you stand back after you've coached up the offense when they come off the field, when you stand back and you're watching the defense, what are you seeing in our defense as an offensive coordinator?
Well, what I see is a lot of physicality up front. I wouldn't want to have to sit there on Sunday and game plan for the guys we have in the middle, in the trenches. With Valenta and Jug there at defensive tackles, that's got to be a tough matchup for any team we play in our district. And our linebackers, man, they fly around and they they'll strike people. So that's the biggest thing that glares out to me is how well they fly around and are physical with taking on blocks and making tackles.
Well, and when you see those defensive linemen up there, I mentioned to Coach the other day, I saw several times where Daniel Obina had 2 blockers on him. Sometimes a third would come and chip him, and we're not calling his name for getting to the football, but he's tying up blockers, and linebackers are coming in and able to make the play, and sometimes safety or cornerback will make the play. But those linemen are doing a good job of just holding those blocks.
That's
to
right.
Free up guys.
Yeah, those guys in the middle, they absorb and kind of have to make the offense account for having a guy or two responsible for trying to move the line of scrimmage, and that does, just like you're saying, it frees up those linebackers and make a lot of plays.
Well, and it's with the defensive line, kind of the unsung heroes from time to time. The offensive line, definitely the unsung heroes because we just don't call their names a lot unless we see one of them laying on top of the defender and we're laughing while we're talking about their names, and we've seen some pancake blocks this year. So Friday night I'm wearing my pancake socks. So hopefully we'll have some butter and some syrup.
That's good, yeah.
See some more pancake blocks out there.
You will.
That's outstanding. Coach, as the season has progressed, we've watched this offense in particular, and I know we're heavy on the offense tonight because we got the offensive coordinator. We've watched this offense develop, grow, and just become more efficient. Would you describe that as accurate in their efficiency and what they're doing?
Yes, and I think that kind of naturally happens every year. You're playing your 6th game of the season. You should always be kind of progression and getting more efficient about everything you do. But yeah, we're starting to click on all cylinders and really excited about each and every week how much we're able to grow the game plan and be able to do and get better every week. But yeah, I would say I'm more than pleased in how efficient we are week to week.
I'm going to be kind of surprised if any team comes through this district unscathed.
Oh, for sure.
Just a meat grinder. Talk about your reaction when you saw what the UIL did for District 11 5A Division I.
Well, it was when you see Consol and College Station put in our district, you automatically know that that's 2 good teams coming in. but they replaced, like Maynard and those guys that were already, the same type of competition. So, yeah, if we want to be the best, we got to beat the best. So
Right.
it's nothing we were scared of or thought that we couldn't compete with. So, all in all, it's something that'll be good for us.
So with Leander coming to town, I heard a rumor that there's a big game coming, an even bigger game coming. I don't know. Next week.
Yeah.
How do you keep these guys focused on Leander instead of looking ahead to that other school?
We got a pretty mature team, and our coaches do a good job of keeping us in the moment. And it's all about the task at hand, and I think we've been doing a great job of that. I hadn't heard, that other school across the town. I hadn't heard that, all week. So I think we'll be perfectly fine. Not worried about the next week's game.
We'll talk about those guys next week.
Yeah. But.
Big game coming.
Yeah, and my wife happens to be due next Friday, but it could possibly happen Saturday.
Well,
so you never know.
Congratulations. It's not your first.
It
right?
is first.
It is the first?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well,
we're there.
Welcome to the family. Congratulations to the Beatties.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Get the name of Kelly?
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Girl or boy? Do we know yet?
No, we're not even going to find out until it's here.
So unwrap the package on Christmas and find out what's there.
That's right.
Outstanding. Well, we're excited for you guys. I've done a lot of cool stuff in my life, just about every cool thing I've ever wanted to do, but being a husband, being a father is the coolest, and I wouldn't trade that for any of it. So
yes, sir.
You get to come to that family, the family of fathers. I hope at some point you have a daughter so you go suffer through what I've suffered through.
Yeah, the coach's curse so far, yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. So do anytime now?
Anytime. We'll find out Friday, but as soon as Saturday probably.
All right.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to y'all.
Thank you.
Folks, that's our offensive coordinator, Ricky Beatty. Coach Beatty, we appreciate you joining us tonight.
Sir.
Hang around because we need somebody to read the trivia questions
right.
and see if the offense is going to continue to throttle the defense
Okay.
in the trivia. So, folks, we're going to take another quick break. We are here live at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Still time to come down, grab some food, something to drink, and enjoy the rest of the show. But we will be back shortly. Stick with us. This is SHN Sports and the Georgetown Eagle Nation Coaches Show.
The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.
We welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show here at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Is that too loud in your ears?
No.
You all right?
Yeah.
We have with us senior receiver Marquise Dominguez. Marquise, thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Not like you had a lot of choice, huh? Coach came and said, hey, you're going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Talk about this season to this point. You happy? You satisfied? How's the season gone to this point in your mind?
I mean, so far, I think we're doing good, offense and defense-wise. Even though, like, the 2 games at A&M and Liberty Hill, I still think we made a comeback of Hendrickson. And, yeah, I just think we're doing good.
So we all had big expectations for you because we've seen you play.
Yeah.
And coming into the season, we're excited about the skill positions that we had. There was some question about the offensive line. Talk about what that offensive line has done for you guys this year.
Oh, yeah, offensive line is cold, yeah. Their blocking is just so good for Petter just running down, scoring all them touchdowns, um, holding all of them just to keep Noah safe, just to throw it to us. So yeah, I think we're doing really good. They're going crazy.
So
Going crazy.
against Hendrickson, you had 6 receptions, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. What was Hendrickson doing that made you guys be able to have so much success against them? Was it mismatches? Was it just a little more athletic? What was it?
Yeah, it was definitely the mismatches. But it was just easy for us just to just run the plays and stuff. They couldn't stop us and stuff. But yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
So when you run your route, and because I've seen you a couple of times put defenders on the ground just with a move that you had, are you ever laughing after you see one of those guys slip down and break an ankle or something?
I mean, if they're talking mess to me, yeah, I might as well say something to them. So, but yeah, it's all fun and all after the games.
Who has
serious.
the teams that we've played up to this point? Who's talking the most trash?
Definitely A&M Consolidated.
Yeah,
definitely.
They had some great athletes over there, so they got some room to talk some garbage. But so Leander's coming to town. Have you played against Leander before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you thinking? What are you looking for against Leander?
Just for offense, just us, me, Dredo on the sides. The corners, they couldn't hold us. Even last year, they couldn't. But I think we're going to be good.
You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Get back to the GISD Athletic. There's homecoming this week, too, by the way, so Hoco's coming. But y'all had to dance Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
This past Saturday. Get that out of the way. Keep you guys focused. How's practice gone this week?
Good. We're taking care of business, getting the plays right and stuff. Yeah, just doing good. Yeah.
Locked in?
Yeah, we're just
laser
locked in.
focused?
Yeah. Always.
Outstanding. What's your goals for the rest of the season?
Just to rack up some offers, get as many yards, touchdowns, make it to playoffs, win a state ring.
There you go.
Pretty much.
Hey, man, I got a state baseball medal. I need a football one to go with it. So
Yeah.
I'd love to call a game in AT&T. It'd be fantastic. So you've had some offers. Talk about some of those. How's the recruiting process going?
It was going good. I actually just got my first offer today. So, yeah, I was pretty excited.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Tell the folks who your first offer was.
I think it was Doane University. I think that's how you say the name, but I don't know.
Yeah, there'll be some more.
Yeah.
There'll be some more.
Yeah.
Well, Marquise, I appreciate you joining us tonight. Folks, Marquise Dominguez, senior wide receiver for your Georgetown Eagles. We will be right back here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show at 606 South Church Street at the Golden Rule. We appreciate all the fine folks here at the Golden Rule taking such good care of us. We will be back shortly. Stick with us. This is SHN Sports. We welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show here at the Golden Rule, 606 South Austin and South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. We appreciate Tommy and all the whole gang. Nina's out here with us. She's our normal caregiver, but we got Tyler with us tonight as well, and the whole gang here at Golden Rule. So great atmosphere, great folks here. if you get the opportunity, come down and thank them for sponsoring the Coaches Show this year. We could not have done this Coaches Show without them, so we really appreciate that. Now joining us, Ian Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Out cracking skulls last week. Talk about last week's game, Ian.
We just had a good game defensively and a big improvement from the week previously, just flying around with the ball and doing our assignment.
8 tackles for you, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass breakup. It was a good game.
Yes, sir.
It's good. Were you having fun?
Yeah, it was a fun game. Only got to play 3 quarters, but, we made the most of it. And
Or were you begging to stay in?
Yeah, I always want to stay in no
Yeah.
matter what the score is, but, yeah.
So you got you had some guys that were getting some good playing time behind you, which is important.
For sure.
Talk about this defense and the strides that you guys have made this season, because coming into the season, I would for me, defense was the question. I knew we had skilled players at the offense. I knew we had some talent on defense, but not very experienced. Talk about how this defense has progressed this season.
Yeah, I think we've improved a lot, obviously, since, even 2 weeks ago, we've made tremendous strides. And I think we have some guys that have come in from being a sophomore or junior that it honestly seems like they've played a year or two of varsity already with Jacob and Landry, and obviously Thomas Scholes coming in and having a bunch of interceptions for us without playing varsity last year. So I don't think I've really seen a huge experience gap. We just got to keep improving every week on our assignments and our plays.
Well, at this point in the season, even the youngest, least experienced player on the team is no longer that. We're halfway through the season.
Yes, sir.
What has surprised you the most this year?
I think just how fast we learned the new defense with Coach Nicky and how fast we adapted to a completely new system, and all the assignments were just completely different from last year, and we bought in and adapted really fast.
So talk about that. With you had Coach Pat. You played under Coach Pat in that defensive scheme. Now Coach Nicky has come back, and his scheme's different. Terminology's a little bit different. Talk about how that has affected you guys this year and how you have been able to adapt to that.
Yeah, I think everyone just bought in from day one with how, energetic and exciting he is to be around. So he's obviously brought in some really good schemes too that have, shown on the scoreboard that they're working. So
that garbage can's not going to last the season, man. That thing is taking a beating.
It's
and
a little beat up.
Coach Nicky has delivered a lot of those beatings because high energy guy, a lot of excitement. Different personality from Coach Pat, right? Did that take some getting used to, or?
Yeah, well, Coach Pat definitely brought the juice too, but Coach Nicky's, he's super personable and easy to talk to, and he knows how to talk to different players certain ways to get the most out of them. So he's a really good coach.
So several players have talked to us about it, not necessarily on the air, but just in conversations. When Coach Nicky came in, he really made an effort to get to know you guys, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
How do you do that?
Just talking to us in the weight room and at practice, and, not just talking about football, but asking about, other things and making conversation and learning everyone's names really fast. So, yeah, he came in, and it feels like he's been here for years already.
Yeah, and we welcomed him back. He was here for a while and then left for a little bit and then came home, so we're glad to have him home. Last week against Hendrickson, scored some points near the end of the game, but you guys really did a good job of stopping what they were trying to do. Talk about what y'all's game plan was going in.
Well, they weren't a super complicated team. We just kind of had to, we installed a couple new things to some, some auto checks to their formations and stuff, but we just really had to do our assignment, and it was kind of a big week for us to just focus on ourselves and work out all the kinks in our defense and, iron out all the problems. So that's what we did last week.
So Leander's coming in. Talk about Leander. What you looking for?
Well, they're a lot better than they were last year. We can't take them lightly at all, but if we do our job, we should come out on top.
What's going to be the biggest challenge for the defense against the Lions come Friday night?
They just do a lot of good RPOs, and they got a lot of running backs that they're gonna feed the ball to. So we don't really know who their guy is yet. So we got some things that we're gonna find out on Friday.
How different will it be depending on who's back there?
It's the same for us. We just gotta find out who it is and adjust to it.
So I got to say, against Hendrickson, it was really enjoyable watching so many silver helmets get to the football.
Yes, sir.
You guys were pursuing really well. When the defense is clicking like that and y'all are able to stop what the offense is doing, how much fun are you guys having on that field? Because there's a ton of communication going on.
Yeah.
How much fun are you guys having whenever it's clicking like that?
Yeah, it's so much more fun when everyone's communicating and on the same page, and obviously getting to the football, because there's some big hits when there's 9 people around the ball carrier every play.
So, which of the newer players, I guess you could say, the less experienced players, who has really surprised you this year?
Definitely Thomas Scholes. Leggett too. Leggett stepped in and played really well. Jacobs played really well, but Thomas I think he has 4 picks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Yeah, it's funny because they were. I was listening to the Horn today, and on the Flex 30 high school update, they listed off cornerbacks and defensive backs throughout Central Texas as having the most interceptions, and they started with 3, and then went down to 2. And I was thinking, we got some guys that got more than that.
Yeah, we should be on that board for sure.
Yeah. Well, just keep winning.
Yes, sir.
And
that's all that matters.
we're good on that board. Ian, what's how's everything else going this year outside of football?
As far as going to college or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm really just waiting to see how this season goes and go from there. I definitely don't have any school, decided on for sure, but we're just going to see how the season goes and decide from there.
Well, brother, you're playing great this year. It's fun watching you.
Thank you.
We appreciate being able to be part of these games and call these games, and hope we're doing you guys justice for the work that you're putting in.
Yes, sir.
So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Folks, Ian Lewis, senior defensive lineman. We are going to take another break, and then we will come back. It is going to be trivia time when we come back, and then who am I talking to from the Booster Club? All right, we got him. We'll have a chat with our booster folks as well. So, folks, we are here at the Golden Rule for the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. We appreciate you joining us. Stick close. There'll be more in just a few minutes. Okay, it is time for our trivia. No, he should not be.
I think it's good.
Yeah, he's good. We're good over there. All right, it's trivia time. Offense versus defense. Offense is winning 2-1, so the defense is going to have to step up. Topic this week, NCAA football. There's 5 questions. Miss Beatty is going to decide who raises their hands first. Defense on this side, offense on that side. Good luck. Don't stink.
All right, first question. Which team has the highest total of wins in the FBS?
Alabama.
That's incorrect.
Notre Dame.
That is incorrect. Let me give y'all some answer choices. Okay. Ohio State.
They've lost it at this point.
Well, they lost it.
Okay.
Okay. Michigan. Michigan Wolverines. All right, number 2. Which team has had the most players drafted in the first round of the NFL draft? Which one?
UNC.
What?
UNC. North
USC?
Carolina.
UNC? No.
Alabama.
No. So it's over. All right, the USC, Southern California. I was about to give it to you.
All right, so the last 3 questions, we'll give you choices. No choice? All right, no choice.
You got shut down.
Nothing, I got
Okay. Number 3. Okay. Which team has been to the most bowl games?
They play
No
football,
guesses.
right?
Yes, they do.
Do they watch football?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody take a guess.
Come on, somebody. Take a guess.
All right.
Michigan.
That's incorrect.
Come on, Marquise.
Ohio State.
Alabama. That's good. Okay, so 0 correct answers so far. All right. Number 4, the Army-Navy historic rivalry was born in 1890 when the Naval Academy defeated West Point 24-0. Which team has more wins in the series? Trado?
West Point.
That is incorrect.
Navy.
Hey, we got a point. All right, last one. What trophy is presented to the winner of the Red River Showdown? Red River Rivalry. There's a name for like the trophy deal. What is it?
It's a golden cowboy hat.
That's it. That's it. It's a tie.
1-1.
1-1.
All right, so we're gonna break the tie. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna break the tie with one more question. And the question is, the Golden Boot Trophy, the Iron Skillet Trophy, goes to the winner of what rivalry game? And it's a state of Texas rivalry. It does not involve the University of, nor A&M.
TCU, Texas Tech.
So close. One of those is right. All right, go with it.
TCU, SMU.
Yes, TCU SMU. So the defense wins one and ties it up. Outstanding. All right, gentlemen, thank you. Folks, stick with us. We'll be back shortly. This is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show on SHN Sports. We welcome you back to the SHN Sports Eagle Nation Coaches Show, live from the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. I am obviously not Wally Harmon. I'm Kelly DeVoll, the color analyst for the Eagles. Wally is in Las Vegas playing in a law enforcement softball tournament out there, so we wish them the best of luck and safe travels.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy Warren with us with the Booster Club. What's your role? What's going on with the Booster Club?
So, yeah, my role is VP of Field Ops. So I take care of all the blow-up deal, all the flags and banners and all that stuff. So what's going on with we got homecoming week this week.
Right.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
We've got tailgate at the stadium, 5 o'clock.
And what's on the menu this week?
Oh, that's a great question.
Pokey Joe's.
Pokey Joe's, that's it.
All right, some
Yeah.
barbecue on the menu.
It changes up every week. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, getting old.
No, trust, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Talk about what's going on with some of the Booster Club functions that are happening right now. You said you're in charge of the field crew. What's going on with the inflatable? I know it's been frustrating, huh?
Oh, man, it's, with COVID and all that, it's, having problem delays after delay after delay. So we got a new blow-up coming, so it's already paid for, and they're building it, and it's just taking a while.
Any idea when it's getting here?
Oh, man, I'd be lying if I told you, but they said it should be here, maybe the end of October, so maybe we'll get it the last game or two. So
All right.
we'll see.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. We'll definitely have it for playoffs, I hope.
You'll be ready for AT&T Stadium.
There you go. I'm game with that.
Oh, let's go. I'm ready. I'm excited.
I'll wait till then if that happens.
Yeah. So from the booster, not even from the Booster Club standpoint, but just from the parent fan standpoint, talk about what you've witnessed this year with the Eagles.
Oh man, the coaching staff is unbelievable. They're awesome, good with the kids. The new defensive staff coming in, along with some older, the coaches that's been there. Coach Holm, he's been coaching my son since he started in high school.
Coach Gandy's been a coach since dirt was white.
Oh man, I know it. Yeah, he's been around a while.
He has been.
But, the defensive staff is great. Offensive staff is obviously great. Coach Beatty does a great job. Man, he's a genius when it comes to play calling. It's just it's amazing to watch. And just the parent involvement. The parent involvement we've had this year has been phenomenal. So it's been good.
So there's still things that parents can do and folks can get involved. I was on the Booster Club board for a couple of years when my son was in high school. What the Booster Club really needs is underclassmen parents to volunteer on game night, right?
Yes, absolutely. And what we really need this week, speaking of that, this week we need folks to help out with merchandise sales.
All right.
So, we've got some slots available for merchandise sales during the game. So it would be like in shifts. So like first half, somebody, and then second half, another person.
So you don't have to volunteer for the entire game.
No.
Just throw a half in there so
That's
that
right.
the senior
Just a little
parents can.
half. That's right.
So the varsity parents can watch their kids play, and you can watch. So folks, if you have the opportunity, come out, help out with the Booster Club. You don't even have to have a kid involved.
No, you don't.
In the sport.
We'll take any volunteers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, actually, David England, who's on our crew, Doppler Dave. Dave was a part of the Booster Club for a while till he got really involved with the broadcast, and he hasn't had a son play football.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Just likes the game.
Good community support.
And in the Sun City Booster Club, we see our Sun City Booster Club folks all the time. Glad to see those folks. They get involved with some of the stuff, but they really support this Eagle team.
They do. They're out there in droves, man. It's awesome. They love it, too. They love football. They love watching these boys compete. It's a good time.
Folks, the Booster Club, whether it's football boosters, baseball, track, any of the booster clubs, band boosters, Georgettes, all those, they're working their tails off for these kids. So we encourage you to get involved and help out with that because it takes time, takes money, blood, sweat, and tears to pull these off. I mean, there's 7, 8, 10,000 people at the stadium on Friday nights, and that's a lot of work.
Oh, that's a lot of work. And we have the Monday Booster Club meeting. We've got a lot of people showing up to that. I mean, it's great. It's fun because coaches go over all the highlights. It's good. They do a little X's and O's talk. It's a good time.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to a booster meeting and you have a sub-varsity kid playing football, they talk about the sub-varsity games, what happened in the sub-varsity games. The booster club is not only for the varsity. The booster club gets stuff even down to the middle school level, right?
That's
Forbes
right.
and Benold.
Oh, yeah, down the middle school. This Georgetown, I mean, I grew up here. I went to school here, played football here, and I've never seen it like this before to where they're in every level. I mean, it's from 7th grade up to 12th grade. This coaching staff, everybody, the booster club, we're at every level. I mean, we're trying to help the whole town out.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really helping develop the entire program. So you don't have to have a son playing varsity football or involved in varsity football. They are helping all levels of school football from the middle schools up. So we appreciate what you guys do.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you guys being a sponsor of
Yeah.
SHN Sports and our football broadcast as well.
You guys are doing great, man.
Thank you.
We send your link out to all the grandparents
Yeah.
and aunts, uncles, everywhere.
We literally
all over
have
the country.
We literally have people watching from all over the world. We've had some from Korea,
Oh, wow.
Israel. There's a Georgetown alum that's stationed in South Korea right now, and he watches just about every week. And then, of course, the guys that have gone off to play college football, they're watching in. I know Boise State, a lot of their football players were watching the games this last year and this year too. So it's fun, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate you guys helping us keep these broadcasts free. And as you see the sponsors like the Golden Rule and like the sponsors of our football games, please, if you can use their services, please do. Go into them and let them know you saw their ads and found out they were supporting Georgetown football and SHN Sports broadcast. Without them, we would have to charge for these broadcasts to make them happen. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of equipment. But our sponsors like the Booster Club, like the Golden Rule, and all the other sponsors help us bring these broadcasts to you. So we thank our sponsors for that. We thank the Golden Rule, Cody Hurt, Tommy McCormick, Nina. I just blanked on everybody. Tyler. And there's one more. I forgot.
That's that old thing.
It is. It's old. It's getting old.
I'm
but
with you.
we appreciate beautiful venue here, great food, great atmosphere, and we appreciate the Golden Rule. Well, thank you, sir, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
We're going to take
Anytime.
one more break. We'll come back and wrap up this week's Eagle Nation Coaches Show here on SHN Sports. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned, and we will be wrapping up shortly. Welcome back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show here at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street here in Georgetown. And look who wandered in. Head coach Chuck Griffin. He's going to help us wrap up tonight's show. Coach, talk about the coming week.
You know, it's Lander's a good opponent. Somebody we've been preparing for all week. And, you know, I've told the kids it's kind of, you got to be careful about a trap style game. That's
Right.
kind of an overused word, but coming off a big win like that, and you can get a little full of yourself if you're not careful, and they're a good opponent, and they've got the same record we do, and you can't go compare records and all that kind of stuff. It's just they're good, and they're going to give us a good run. So I've challenged them this week. Really, what I've talked to them about is really we're everybody's target game,
Right.
and we're there's a couple upper level schools in our district, and people are like, man, I don't know if we can beat them, but man, if we can beat Georgetown, we're in. If we can beat Georgetown, then we can get in the playoffs. So we're going to get everybody's best shot every week.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because Coach Vieira during the baseball season talked about having that G on their uniform, on the hat, on the helmet. It means something.
Yeah, for sure.
And people are paying attention to it. The Leander-Georgetown rivalry goes back decades.
Yeah.
And Little Wayne there for a little while whenever we weren't playing that frequently, but it's coming back now. And Leander's going to bring a different look than Hendrickson, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So they'll be a good football team. We'll have to go out and play well and take care of our job. And now here's the deal. I've talked to him, like, if you'll do your job, if we'll play to the best of our ability, everybody, as a team, then we're going to be okay. The score will take care of itself.
Pretty healthy.
Yeah, for the most part, we're pretty healthy. We got a couple guys a little dinged up, but that's part of football season.
Put them in the ice bath. Get better. Get over it.
Just part of football season. What you got to deal with now.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here at the end of the Coaches Show. We appreciate you letting us be a part of the Georgetown Eagle football family and joining us out here at the Golden Rule.
Well, man, we love you guys. We're thankful that you take care of our kids and promote our kids and our program, so we're thankful for that. Glad to be here.
We're very fortunate to be a part of this. We feel like the family, and we just love it. And I get to sit in air-conditioned comfort and talk football. Okay, I'm in. Folks, that's head coach Chuck Griffin. That's this week's version of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Friday night, 6:15 pregame. And if you're at the stadium, pull us up on your phones, listen to the pregame on your phones, and see the pictures of your sons in the starting lineups. And as we talk about your sons, but if you at all can, come out, pack those stands with blue, Eagle blue. Be loud. Cheer these guys on to victory against Leander Lions this week. Pre-game 6:15. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock, and we will be at the Georgetown Independent School District Athletic Complex, Perkleback Field. So join us there if you can. If you can't, jump online, YouTube, and watch us live broadcast free. Folks, we appreciate you joining us here at the Golden Rule, and we will see you next week. Eagle Fight never dies.